Welcome to the Think Forward podcast, where we speak with futurists, innovators, and big thinkers. Come along with your host, Steve Fisher, and explore the future together.
Welcome back to Foundations in Foresight, a Think Forward series. I'm Steve Fisher, and today, we're tackling one of the biggest questions of our time. How do we keep up with a world that's changing faster than ever? Last episode, we talked about Techceleration, how technology isn't just advancing, it's accelerating. The time between breakthrough and adoption is collapsing. AI, quantum computing, biotech, automation, they're all moving forward so fast that industries are being transformed overnight. 5-year strategic plans? They often become obsolete before they're even fully implemented. That's where today's conversation comes in. It's not enough to just understand that things are changing. The real question is, how do we thrive in this kind of environment? How do businesses, leaders, and individuals not just survive, but actually use accelerating change as an advantage? This episode is all about staying ahead of disruption. We're going to talk about why traditional career planning and business strategies don't work in a world of rapid change, how businesses can design adaptive strategies that embrace uncertainty, and what you, whether you're a leader, an entrepreneur, or someone just trying to future-proof your career, can do to stay relevant in an era where standing still means falling behind. So if you've ever felt like the world is moving faster than you can keep up, stick with me, because by the end of this episode, you'll have a practical roadmap for thriving amid accelerating change. Let's dive in. For a long time, we were able to plan for the future in a pretty straightforward way. Businesses could map out 5-year strategic plans, and individuals could build careers by specializing in a skill and gradually moving up over time. It worked because change was predictable. That predictability is gone. Think about how fast things are moving now. AI was something most people barely understood 5 years ago, and today, it's generating artwork, writing scripts, and even helping to design new drugs. The rise of remote work happened almost overnight. Entire industries, marketing, finance, logistics, are being reshaped in real time. That means businesses and individuals can't rely on past strategies to navigate the future. The old ways of thinking, long-term stability, incremental progress, sticking with one expertise, don't fit a world where the technology driving your industry can change dramatically in just a few years. So the big mistake I see companies and professionals making is assuming they have more time than they actually do. They think they can afford to wait and see how things play out. But the reality is, by the time you realize something is changing, the shift has already happened. So what do we do instead? For businesses, the answer is building adaptability into your core strategy. The companies that thrive in an era of techceleration are the ones that don't just react to change, they anticipate it and experiment constantly. One of the most important things businesses can do is shift from rigid planning to strategic experimentation. Instead of betting everything on one future scenario, smart companies are constantly testing new ideas, piloting new technologies, and gathering real-world data before making big moves. Look at Amazon. They're constantly running small experiments. Some fail, some turn into billion-dollar businesses like AWS. Google does the same thing. They invest in moonshot projects, they try new models, and they aren't afraid to pivot when something isn't working. The key lesson? Companies that treat innovation as a continuous process rather than a one-time initiative are the ones that stay ahead. Another thing that separates the winners from the losers? Optionality. The best businesses don't lock themselves into a single path. They build models that allow them to shift directions as industries change. Tesla isn't just an electric car company. Their expertise in batteries and AI means they have multiple paths forward, from self-driving technology to energy storage to robotics. They aren't tied to one future. They have options. That kind of thinking is what keeps businesses from becoming irrelevant. The companies that fail, they're the ones that stick to one way of doing things even when the world is changing around them. But it's not just businesses that need to adapt, it's individuals too. The biggest mistake people make when thinking about their careers is assuming that what worked in the past will work in the future. That's no longer true. The jobs that existed 10 years ago are changing. The skills that mattered 5 years ago might not matter 5 years from now. If you want to future-proof your career, the most important shift you can make is thinking in terms of skills, not job titles. For decades, the way we approached work was pretty linear. You picked a field, developed expertise, and worked your way up. But in a world of techceleration, that model is breaking down. Instead of defining yourself by a job title, think about the underlying skills that can be applied in multiple industries. Companies are already shifting toward skills-based hiring. They care less about what degree you have and more about what you can actually do. AI can already handle repetitive rule-based tasks. The most valuable skills going forward will be things like critical thinking, adaptability, and the ability to work with emerging technology rather than against it. If you're wondering where to start, the best thing you can do is get comfortable working alongside AI. AI is already integrated into so many industries: finance, marketing, healthcare, law. The workers who thrive won't be the ones resisting AI. They'll be the ones learning how to collaborate with it. And the most important skill of all? Adaptability. The people who succeed in this new landscape won't necessarily be the ones with the most experience. They'll be the ones who are willing to pivot, experiment, and reinvent themselves as industries evolve. So where do we go from here? Techceleration isn't slowing down. The companies, leaders, and workers who understand that and build adaptability into their approach will be the ones who shape the future. The ones who don't, they'll be struggling to catch up. The key takeaway here is this: you can't fight the pace of change. You can only position yourself to move with it. That means shifting from rigid, long-term planning to flexible, real-time learning. It means viewing AI and automation as tools that amplify your abilities rather than threats that replace you. And it means constantly questioning old assumptions about what success looks like. So here's your challenge. Take a step back and look at your industry, your company, or even your personal career path. Are you relying on outdated models of stability, or are you actively preparing for a world where change is the only constant? If you're not already experimenting, learning, and adapting, you're already behind. The future belongs to the adaptable. In our next episode, we're going to dive even deeper into this conversation. We'll explore how to develop an anti-fragile mindset, one that doesn't just survive disruption, but actually thrives because of it. Until then, keep exploring, questioning, and as always, think forward.
Thanks for listening to the Think Forward podcast. You can find us on all the major podcast platforms and at www.thinkforwardshow.com, as well as on YouTube under Think Forward Show. See you next time.